Shashwat. Okay, hi guys. Welcome to live session 3, where we were talking about industry-specific problems and surely trying to serve by making a product or a service regarding that problem. Three participants are Shashwat, Miral, and Priyanka. Uh, can we go with Shashwat? A little quick intro about from your undergrad days to how you ended up interested into product. Uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm Shashwata. I've studied industrial engineering from my undergraduate, and this was a natural progression for me. I chose Northeastern because, particularly, of the flexible course, and Boston is a good place to be surrounded by a lot of good colleges. So I believe the ecosystem would be pretty conducive for my growth. That's about me. And product is it's something new. It's pretty interdisciplinary. So that's what attracted me towards it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Can you explain about how exactly what did you do in undergrad?
So I was part of a lot of undergraduate college clubs. So one particular which I would like to mention was the entrepreneurship development cell. We
Okay.
called it Onyx,
Okay.
and so that was a really good place where we could meet a lot of people, and we had events where we would call in people who are into entrepreneurship. And entrepreneurs usually we would look for someone who's technical, and they would have had their own product and something they would have come up with. So that was my first introduction to product development and product management specific. So and I would mainly attribute all of my interest towards product towards that club, because if not for that I wouldn't have known what product development is.
Okay. So, do you like taking a product from scratch or having an idea and then developing it as a product?
So we used to have a
No, no.
business.
I'm
Okay,
like what exactly you like or something like that.
I particularly like cars. So in general, but when it comes to product, I would say there's no idea which has not been implemented. At some or the other point, someone would have tried it,
Okay.
and Apple themselves did not make the first PC. It was IBM, but then they just made it better.
Okay.
So there's always an option. So that process of making things better and more suited to you is what excites me towards product development.
Okay. Moving on to Miral. You can keep it crisp, Miral. We know you.
Yeah. I did my undergrads in electronics and communication back in India, and I was like developing robotics products mainly because like I was fascinated by drones and how the robotics cars work. So at that point, I had like worked on how product designing works and how we ideate and how what are the aspects of it. Doing market research and putting up your thoughts on business model and like ideating it. So from that, I was inclined to product development or product management kind of thing. With Northeastern, by enrolling in Northeastern, it gave me an opportunity to explore such courses and learn more about it. Plus, the ecosystem around it is very like interactive, where there are a lot of product-minded people around. So that is helping me in pursuing like interest in product management, product development. Yeah.
Okay. Priyanka, moving on to you.
I completed my undergrad in electronics and telecommunication back home in India, and then while working as a software analyst, I did realize a need to learn more about how products work and how data is gathered and how supply chains work. All these combinedly, I found a good field as engineering management at Northeastern, and hence I chose to pursue my master's in engineering management here in Boston. Currently, I'm focusing towards having an idea of these fields, particularly into supply chain and the products, because there is no supply chain if there are no products.
Yeah.
So, so I would just like to explore both of them all together, and I hope I can contribute something to this session.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. So about me, uh, I did my undergrad in civil engineering, worked for 3 years at a contractual firm, and then I worked as a project manager at an engineering consultant firm. And from there, I got interested into product development, and I majorly molded myself more as a product developer than more as a product manager. And I like doing something, so I started these live sessions for everyone, so everyone can come and contribute and learn. And so moving forward with this session, we picked up like industries from Miral, Shashwata, Priyanka, and I chose supply chain. So, can you explain more about Miral? Why did you choose consumer product and robotic automation?
Yeah, so going to consumer product, I was like concerned with the constantly changing market. So I don't think that there is a strategy where any small scale industry, maybe a person who is like coming up with a new product, launches a product in market, becomes successful, and suddenly there are like many other people who are launching similar kind of products, or they are doing constantly innovation, and then his product goes out of the market. So I believe that this is a huge problem because demands will be constantly changing, and users are attracted to new things. So how to cope up with that and how to solve that problem is a big thing. Plus, in this coronavirus, that has like caused a lot of loss to many people also. So I believe that was one problem that I faced. The in robotics automation, what I primarily feel is that there are good innovations happening in industry. When I was working in the power sector industry, there were like robotics machines which were automatically doing work, but the one problem was that people around that weren't skilled for it. So what I thought was like just like if Udemy and LinkedIn are teaching us on SQL and things like that for free, if there are courses where such machines and some things are taught, then it would be very beneficial for industries also to solve that problem and have a skilled labor who understands how the robots works, because I don't think there are such courses, and the machines itself are very expensive. So it requires very efficient workers only to take charge on it and solve that problem. So I chose these both problems.
Okay. Moving on to Shashwat. Can you explain why did you choose this problem with retail sector and specifically Indian consumer stores?
So, as we all can relate here, we all international students come a long way away from home. And I would basically say a man or a woman has human in basic has like essentially three basic things: roti, kapda, makan, right?
Yeah.
So you can just boil it down to that. So whatever you do, it kind of is towards that. And especially when we are in a foreign land, we always tend to look for something which we're familiar with. So anything simple, something which reminds you of home, is really special. So I particularly picked Indian consumer stores as it's something where I really can go and look at things which I want to buy,
Okay.
and that too in such a foreign land. So I'm really amused at how well they can they have the supply chain set up where they can get any particular niche item from my native
Native.
to all the way to Boston. So that was I'm pretty curious about that, and I really think we can improve on this because it's pretty decentralized, scattered. So a structure to this would take it a long way, is what I believe.
Okay. Priyanka, can you explain why did you like health sector and exploring its problem?
Yeah.
Okay.
So health sector is the one which requires a lot of process improvement, and then it is one of the sectors which is very critical to each and every one of us even if we are in our own country or in a foreign land, like Shashwata said. So, apart from food and a place to live, a health is what something matters a lot to each and everyone, as from thought from a safety point of view. So, I choose health too.
Okay. I chose supply chain because of the problems that we have at present, right? Uh, just because due to pandemic, every like streamlined versions have been broken, and so what I exactly want is some in particular amount of time is not what I get, so I need to compromise it. So I want to solve that problem, uh, to be very precise about it. And so moving on, uh, Miral, what are what is the industry you would like to talk about or ideate about? Is it retail, healthcare, or supply chain?
In the three, I would choose healthcare because I think due to Corona, it's like very important to talk on healthcare industry, and we are facing like many countries are facing a lot of problems in healthcare, and which has come out because they didn't have better infrastructure. So solving that problem might help. Yeah.
What about you, Shashwat? In consumer products or
If
healthcare?
I would say, if not for my topic, I would
Yeah,
prefer health or supply chain.
health or supply chain. Priyanka, what about you?
Uh, am I supposed to take other topic names
Yeah,
other
other,
than mine?
yeah.
Okay, so I would like to go for consumer products.
uh, and I would like to talk about robotics automation. Sorry, guys. Okay. So I think clear winner is healthcare.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. Just a quick question. Uh, Amazon is into every verticals. Like, let's have like really quick sessions. Let's put a timer on it so we know, right? Uh, so okay. So Amazon is into every verticals that we can think of, right?
Yeah.
If tomorrow Amazon comes into uh, why can't I arrange this? Okay, if tomorrow Amazon comes into online matchmaking, right? What are your views on that? And would you like Amazon doing it as a company, or would you like being a consumer of Amazon matchmaking services? Like I'm talking
Mass.
about Bumbles and Tinders and Dilmils and
Got
everything,
it.
right? Because Amazon is into every verticals, and again, online matchmaking is also a potential industry with the coronavirus. uh, everything would be virtual. But I was just curious because Amazon knows your shopping habits, Amazon knows your addresses, Amazon knows at what time do you scroll, or how much app how much the how much you scroll around the different apps just drooling, or and everything it knows, right? So what are your take on it? Like, should Amazon start an online matchmaking or anything?
So
I'll
what
just
I
like.
think is that uh, I think the idea is great for Amazon because they have the data. They know that what I search or what I want to buy, what the other person want to buy, and they can maybe efficiently connect people like that with that data. But the thing is that this might go wrong with the image that Amazon has built. I guess this might harm them in the other thing uh, because this might then lead to controversy that Amazon is stealing our data or maybe like that, and it might put questions all around them. So I don't think as a company they would think like in going in this field. They might fund someone, like they might give money to someone or do partnership with someone, and maybe help indirectly, but not directly come up with something like Amazon Match.
No,
I
I
don't.
mean, like, let's say Amazon renames its product, but what if Amazon actually develop it? That's like using its database, right? Okay,
Well,
so you are against Amazon Miral
no,
getting into
I'm
this?
like, yeah, but I'm thinking like it will harm their business image more if they are doing that, because then it will like lead to controversies like they are actually manipulating and using the data. So this might like put some
Uh,
serious questions in them. That's what I
just
believe.
to be very honest with you, Facebook started it.
Yeah, I know
Okay,
that.
yeah. So
But like
Facebook
Facebook,
knows more about you and your friends than
yeah,
Amazon knows about you. So Facebook started it.
yeah, but
Okay,
like Facebook, we are connecting with friends, so that like goes with them. Like
okay.
Amazon started with something like buying and selling, maybe in markets, and like if you are going from that to that domain, then I think that will be very difficult for them to also explain.
So what about you, Shashwata?
So I kind of would like to continue take over with what Miral was saying. I think it's right because image matters a lot, brand
Okay,
matters a lot. So I would like to give an analogy of Tata Nano.
okay,
Tata Nano was very revolutionary when it came to being value for money, safe, and the whole idea was put to people, give people a chance to upgrade to a four wheeler in terms of convenience, safety, and reach. But where they went wrong only is the image. They portrayed it as the world's cheapest car,
yeah,
which is very contradictory. No one would want to a aspirational product to be termed as cheap.
cheap, yeah, okay,
So, also coming back to Amazon matchmaking services, people have a notion of Amazon saying that it's convenience and
yeah, yeah,
and at scale, it's right from most. I think it's like a very big conglomerate and has a lot of reach when it comes to address data and all of that,
okay,
and even a lot of I would say AWS. I'm not sure. AWS like hosts Netflix and all of those. So it's
yeah,
Yeah,
everywhere. And I would say things like dating and matchmaking are a bit more personal than I would not want to trust a certain company of that scale
okay,
with that data. In
okay.
case things go wrong, it would be very disastrous for the image as well.
So it's a no, right?
It's
yeah,
a no.
Okay, Priyanka, what about you?
I feel Amazon has a very good reputation,
Yep,
and with this, obviously a very small owned company cannot try to do something like this because they are very much scared of their reputation. But then Amazon is into everything
yeah,
and has a good repo, has good amount of users. So I guess yes, reputation will be a little at stake, but
okay,
then I would say all products come with risk.
yeah, okay. I
So
think
if
even
there is,
Amazon
yeah,
Prime was a huge risk because
yes,
everyone used to like it's just like going into a restaurant and ordering a la carte, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden for $120 you are given a buffet for a year,
yeah.
right?
So
So
I
they
would,
also took a
yeah,
huge risk with Amazon Prime, right?
yeah.
Because
And moreover, what I feel is they can launch a product like this.
yeah,
Why not?
yeah,
And then it's on the users. If they want to,
no,
they
no,
can.
like being a user, are you comfortable getting on that matchmaking? That's what I'm
uh,
like.
uh, Being a user, I whatever kind, even if it is Amazon or any kind of other company doing it, I am not comfortable with it.
Okay,
But yes, as a product, if I'm working in a company, why not give it a chance? But yeah, obviously, I would not appreciate having stealing the data from the databases which they have from their other businesses. I would like them to have their own database,
okay,
separate database wherein people are interested in that particular field. Like, I don't want that particular domain of matchmaking to be influenced from
your
any
shopping
other
habits.
business.
Okay,
No, not at all. Never.
okay,
Not from any other business domain that they have. Otherwise, yes, if there are people and they want to explore Amazon that side, yeah, they can. If they are willing to give their own data, and then yeah, they can do that. That is totally up to users. But yeah, why not take a risk and try? doing it. It's not going to do, yeah, a little repair will be harm, but if you are not going to steal any data, then I guess fine.
Yeah. I also personally think Amazon should do it, right? Because I think there is one account in the whole household, right? If you understand that. So
Yeah,
so if you are matched, right, you are actually match with the whole household, right? With their shopping habits, what they watch together, like if they're watching a family movie, right? So Amazon knows everything, right? I think with that, if algorithm or everything is perfectly set with the matchmaking thing, that would be a very good match, I guess. Like because understand that the girl would exactly know, right? Like Amazon would exactly know what a guy buys for his mother, and Amazon would also know what a girl buys for her father or something like that. You know, the very most important people in both of their cases, like that.
yes.
Yeah, but I would just say that I would support this concept unless and until the data is being not taken from the other
But
businesses.
I think that's how you do that, right? Because
Yeah.
every online matchmaking thing works on the primary social network data, right? So yeah, I
Yeah.
think let's. I think I didn't start timer only, so very sorry for that.
That's all right.
But I think it was a good question, right? Because again, there's a new vertical that could go around, right?
Yeah, I like the ideology.
Yeah, and it's just like it would be a perfect match. What I like think it, and also the like what Priyanka said is like data thing. I think privacy is a myth now, right? Everyone
True.
knows what
Yeah.
you're doing on your phone. Everyone knows what you're watching on Netflix, right? So it's just like a myth. But this can be used to you like advantage, right? But
Yeah, unless and until people are okay with it, I guess if
yeah,
the users are okay, then that's fine. If they're
yeah,
not
I
okay,
mean,
then that's something
they
different.
should they should pitch the idea like that only. I mean, they should come up with upfront that yeah, so we are making something, we are matching your shopping list, and we are
sure.
connecting people like that. But if
Yeah.
they say that we are creating an app which is matching something and then
Or
not telling people that what they are using behind it, then I don't think I will trust
or
it.
maybe you know what? If you buy something, right? Uh, there's that just a pop-up that shows one of the girl around you, right? Or
That's too much use of data, man.
one of
What
the
if
guy
what if
around your
they
girl around you bought this for her father or
same
something like
thing?
that,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, but then if that gives an address and a phone
No,
number, then
not
I don't
that
think.
address and like dude, that's too much.
Like, but people who want to
And
find them will
secondly,
find it.
Yeah,
yeah, and secondly, the girl, obviously, if the guy is interested and he sees a pop-up that the girl has bought, and by
yeah,
any name or by any ways around, if you try to reach out the person, the girl,
yeah,
in
yeah.
this case, and if she is not comfortable with it, then that is
Yeah, no,
something.
no.
I think that's
I
like
think your name would be only shared if you get a match, right? So that remains ideology, right? That let's have some fundamentals here. Okay. Moving on.
that's like very
I
controversial.
It's a very controversial topic at present. Okay, so we don't need a timer here. Okay, so what are the problems in healthcare? So I think Miral is again the first one. You want to take
But
Miral
let's
or you
start
want
with
to?
Priyanka.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
start
start with
with
Priyanka.
Priyanka.
Yep.
So Priyanka, you want to list
Yeah,
like three problems or five problems? Take your pick. So everyone does that.
I currently have one problem which I see as one of the major in the healthcare sector,
Okay.
and that's the ventilator issues. The amount of people being affected with the disease and the amount of ventilators that we have is something in a very uneven ratio, I would say, which is kind of a problem. We need to, like, India was based, I guess there were some ventilators sent by United States to help
Yeah,
India.
though United
And
doesn't have
then,
it.
yeah, so this is something, an uneven combination, I would say. Uh, so I personally feel that, and studies say that a capacity of ventilator is almost 100%, but then when it is being used for one particular person, obviously, I don't think we have seen ventilators being shared among two people.
Yeah,
So,
like
yeah, you keep for 50% and I'll keep for 50%. That's not how it works. It's upon one, if it is used for one particular person, the usage is 25 to 30%, while the rest is being wasted. So this is one of the problem which I find, and it can be improved. Something can be, I can be said that evolved, something like that,
I
which
didn't get
can
the
help
second
to
part.
increase the usability. You
So,
can just try to increase the usability or increase the capacity somehow to make the product more and more efficient.
but
Or something like making a product to increase the efficiency of the existing ventilators, something like that.
aren't there like cheap and indigenous ventilators available now, right? Because this problem is
Uh,
kind of in late of April, right? And everyone came up with their own versions of in fact, every company and every institute who promotes engineering had came up with their own versions of ventilators that are low cost and like easy thing. I'm
yes,
just uh,
yeah.
concerned about that.
Yes, they did come
So
again, but then
I'm just understanding a problem here. Like, is the problem number of ventilators or the
the
number
problem is
of?
efficiency of the ventilators, I would
So
say.
we good with the
Usability.
ventilators amount, right? Number of ventilators is good, right?
Ah, that can be increased too.
Okay, okay. Increasing ventilators amount. Okay, sorry, increase. You have any other third problem?
The products which are being used in medical are like, we see that there's a lot of garbage thing, and that was something, many of them is just goes into landfills.
Okay.
So recycling can be done of those products. Like some of them are recycled today,
Hmm.
because this problem was identified long back, but not all of them are recyclable, so the problem still persists.
Okay. Okay. Moving on with Shashwata.
All right. So for me, problem in healthcare would because I've been working with the supply chain industry, so I'm a bit biased towards that.
Okay.
I got familiar with this term called Defense Production Act. So where the government in a particular country, say the US, has the executive order where every company, be it Ford or anything, they are asked to contribute to the national cause or something. It's basically in state of emergency. But now, during the coronavirus pandemic, it was being used to make ventilators. So one thing is there had been a latency of when this was thought came up and the execution. And ventilators are such which cannot have a lot of tolerance because it's a very critical
Critical
piece of
situation. Yeah.
component. And also FDA, the authority which, not FDA, I'm not sure which one it is, but the medical authority, whichever it is, has to correctly, has some standards on the tolerances, and so you can't be lax in that.
Okay.
So what I would think is there has to be like a mock drills at regular intervals to see if all the companies in the particular country are able to match up to the any unforeseen events. That would be one, is
Okay.
preparedness. um, Second would be it's for it's I would say information about healthcare and its benefits is pretty scattered. So even in our college, we have the health insurance, and we particularly are not aware of what are the advantages or benefits it is. So we just pay a significant amount of money, but we do not tend to utilize it just because we are not aware of it. So I would say second would be spreading awareness of the existing healthcare facilities we are getting. Because for us international students, healthcare in the US is pretty expensive. But then we can't anticipate, saying we would need a healthcare thing. So I think information and awareness are key, so that we're not scared when it actually happens. So that
Okay,
would be my second point. I
okay,
think, yeah, I would concentrate on these two.
yeah. We will just take a quick break, right?
Yep.
Before moving on with Miral, right?
Okay.
Okay,
Hi, I'm back.
okay, hi.
Are you still recording?
Uh, yeah, it's still live. Okay, we're just waiting for Miral, then we can go again.
I think I kind of missed out on the last whatever you said. Should I repeat myself
Uh, no, no, you were good. It's just like I want everyone to talk about it because what you said and no one else had any counter question,
Mhm.
right?
Got it.
I think we're just waiting for one Miral.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's here. Okay, so I think Miral had a question. Miral,
Yeah.
we're waiting for your question.
My problems, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So one of my problem I see in the healthcare is here in US is with the appointment things. Like it's very hard to find appointments to get medical treatment right away. It's not that quick and efficient, and there's a lot of waiting, which is very troublesome for many people. So I think even though for you can say a number of doctors are more for people as compared to it, but then also that there is scope of vast improvement in that. The second thing is that the treatment itself are very expensive. The cost of one ambulance coming here is $1,000, so that's like very expensive. So it's very important that it has to be like low cost, and there has to be some strategies on how we can reduce it. The
Okay,
third thing I see is that the prices of medicines are like uh, I mean, the prices of medicines are, even if they have the same, you can say the chemicals or the composition, there
yeah,
are very invariable flexes in the prices. Like if it's there are certain stores in India. If you find like they are giving some medicines for 50 rupees, and same any private companies manufacturing it giving for 300 rupees.
Yeah.
So like the thing works is like doctor recommends the 300 ones and like gets the profit, but uh, uh, like it's a huge problem because there are invariable prices distribution in healthcare industry, and it seems happen with the things that like the stamps and the things that when somebody gets an heart attack they put some thing inside them, and then there are like invariable cost of the stands also. So like if you go in government hospital it will cost you 20,000. The same thing will cost 1,50,000 in any other private hospital. So I think there are unregulatory price distributions, and like the third problem is would be like the appointments, not easy appointments in US specifically.
Uh, Shashwat, can you just like brief it? I've like missed out on
All
writing
right.
about it. Sorry.
So the first one would be being preparedness, as in like on a country-wide scale, like whatever. So the Defense Production Act. So every company should have a mock preparedness for any eventuality. So preparedness would be first,
But like preparedness is
and
a problem or
I would say there has to be a systematic process. So
systematic, like sorry to interrupt, systematic process in preparedness or systematic process in application of preparedness?
I would say it has to be so every even in when I was working back in India, so we had a regular fire drill.
Okay.
Only once you know how to actually react in a certain situation would that be efficient. Otherwise, we would just freak out and
Yeah,
you know
panic, create a panic.
panic.
So
So I
preparedness
would
to
say
emergency.
yeah, preparedness to emergency.
Okay.
And the second one would be awareness of the benefits what we have from the
What
state or our
wouldn't that be an
so
outcome of preparedness?
I wouldn't say that. So for me, the target of preparedness, you could say that, but I would say I would point preparedness towards the big firms
Okay.
which are manufacturing and all of that. Say Ford or Tesla manufacturing
Manufacturing ones, right?
ventil. Yeah, and awareness is on a personal level, where all of the people. I think it should be like an advisory. See how on smoking or cigarette boxes, there's
Okay.
an advisory which goes like smoking is injurious to health. I
But
would say with every insurance, I think there has to be a certain easily understood benefits which comes down with that. Otherwise, the lack of awareness is not
so
helping the
easily
cause.
understood benefits and
I would say
disadvantages
that, yeah, that's best. Yeah,
of insurance, right?
yeah, we can concentrate on insurance.
Okay. And you have any third problem?
I think these should be it for now. I think, yeah,
This is right. Okay.
yeah.
So according to me, I think I think the one more sector which on which we are presently not focusing much is like presently now USA, right? The population is scarcely populated, right? Like 50% or 50 to 60% of the population lives on the coast, east or west, and another
Mhm.
40% lives on the middle of it, right? And that's about roughly 80% of the total USA, right? And the medical and in medical industries and other medical facilities are majorly concentrated on the coast side, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I think pandemic again is a very good example, right? Everyone who was on the coast shifted to their relatives or to their acquaintance ones in the Central America, and that's how they spread it. They spread it all over America, majorly, right? Maybe something into telemarketing, not tele healthcare, right? Because that is something the that we haven't like explored yet, to be very honest, right, till date, because we have tele customer care, telemarketing, but we are very uh no very small or very naive about tele healthcare. That is something, if you majorly invest on it, we can do telehealthcare, because even if you have cough and cold, right, there is a thing that without prescription you don't get a drug here, right?
Yeah.
So for that, just like cough and cold, right, you need to get it diagnosed, and then you need to spend a whole day for doctor's appointments, right? And then you get a diagnosis. So maybe telehealthcare might solve the problem.
Mhm.
Are you guys up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well point.
Uh, Also, I agree with the Miral thing, unregulated cost of medical services, right? Because the community hospital costs a little less, very less as compared to the private hospitals. But again, that's where someone jumps into the professional services that they claim they give. While there should be a certain standard that everyone should follow, right? So I would just say unregulated cost of medical services and maintaining a standard everywhere. And uh, the last point I can't like. Uh, I think the last point I would like to talk about is durability of medical devices and products, right? So we usually use like a doctor usually who does 10 or 12 surgeries a day usually uses 10 to 12 different types of medical gowns, what do you call as scissors and other things. So we almost require 10 to 12 different types of medical products. So if we do something that is like it quickly sanitizes them, then we can like maybe figure it out, or maybe like reduce it to like six or seven, something like that. That saves up lots on material. Does everyone agree?
Yep.
Okay, so let's go for votes. So Priyanka, uh, what problem would you like to vote on from Shashwat, Mirals, and mine? Pick each.
Unregulated cost of medical services. Yours second point. Yeah, I guess Miral's second point and your second point is
Yeah, it's
almost the
same.
same. Yeah.
From Shashwat?
Oh, you're asking me?
No, no, no.
Uh,
Like I'm asking, like Priyanka from Shashwat, you want any? You want to?
Um, Preparedness to emergency. Yeah.
Miral, what about you?
Yeah, from Priyanka, I would like to work on medical garbage thing. From Shashwata, uh, I would work on easy understand benefits and advantages and disadvantages of insurance. From yours, I would work on unregulated cost of medical services.
Uh, from Priyanka, I would like to talk about medical garbage, right? Because it's like like years of problem and we have like there is
Yeah.
no solution to it. From Shashwata, I would like to talk about easily understood benefits of the insurance. And from Miral, I would like to talk about unregulated costs of medical devices. So we narrowed it down. Priyanka, coming back to you.
Yes, Shashwat is still.
I think Shash was winner, right?
Shashwat is still left
Yeah,
to give, I think. I don't.
What?
All right. So I'm pretty happy with the topics which you have picked. So I would have picked medical garbage,
Okay, sorry, Shashwat is
and
left. Very sorry.
oh yeah, that's all right.
No, sorry, bro. Yeah, sorry.
So
You
yeah,
want to look again?
from
Okay,
oh I will yeah. I would say from Priyanka's lot, I would pick medical garbage,
okay.
and from Miral's lot, it would be can you scroll up?
Which one?
Uh, unregulated cost, unregulated. Uh,
I think you're breaking.
are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, I can't
Yeah,
hear you.
we can't hear you.
Can you
Yeah,
guys hear me now?
yeah, now it's better.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, I think these should be fine. I think that's this because your
You
and
wish,
Miral's point a
yeah,
bit similar.
yeah, okay. So I think then unregulated cost of medical services is a
Mhm.
majority winner.
Common thing, yeah,
Yeah.
throughout all the.
So everyone is fine with that?
Yep.
Okay. That's more how I am copying it. Oh, he's explaining the location.
Yes.
Do we want to treat this as a vertical about where we actually talk about medical services as a whole vertical, where we talk about insurances, medical devices, medical service, like all the other services that we talk about, or we want to talk about it as a whole, or like how do we want to move that forward? We want to talk about any particular medical services.
I would say we can go about the two, three which we had since
Which
everything is
ones?
important, like the medicines, particular medicines, and then insurances too, like whole and medical services, I would say, as a
Can it,
whole.
as whole medical services or medicines?
That's what as a whole, I'm saying, like as a whole medical services.
But wouldn't that have many more services like
Yeah.
transportations of transportation of
Hmm.
to hospital beds and everything else? So I think narrowing it down would pretty much help us.
Yeah. Mm,
So everyone wanna like tell the medical service they want to talk about or they find a problem in, so it's easier for us. Starting with Shashwata is up in the Zoom call.
Okay. I would say the cost of accommodation in the hospital as such, like when you are in the ICU or in the general ward, it's basically a room with a lot of facilities. But then I can't term it as such. But then we can make it more efficient and a bit more frugal.
So accommodation cost, right?
Yep.
So
Yes.
would that include your hospitality cost at hospital too, or is
I would say yes. So it would be the cost of the say the ward or the ICU. So that is a significant thing because even before administering any medicines, especially in the US, they will keep you under observation for a good amount of time. So
so maybe
that
accommodation
extends
cost?
your
Okay.
that should be my point. Yeah.
Miral, you mute.
I would pick the cost of medical medicines and the cost of like the machines which are used for surgical operations, like the stems or the things which are uh, used when somebody like needs a surgery or something like that. So I would like to have a regulated cost on that.
So you're talking about heart stents, right?
Yeah, heart stems
That we
or
usually put on heart attacks.
yeah,
Yeah.
or you can yeah, that's
Uh,
also works.
Priyanka.
I would say that when I go to a medical service, not medical, a hospital here, it's something, even if it is something normal, they do a whole bunch of
Test.
tests
Yeah.
which are right from CT scan to, like, come on, I am having a stomachache. You cannot be doing the CT scan for it.
Okay.
So, uh, the, and then that just adds a lot too much to the cost, like unnecessary amount of tests, and that is one of the reason they say you, they may expect you to be staying there, and then the more the test, the more the cost.
But wouldn't like like a certain time a test that you which were not suggested to you, but that doesn't help you in solving in identifying another problem that you might have. So I think unnecessary amount of time wasted would be a problem here because
Yeah,
everything
you
is
can say that.
included into insurance majorly.
Yeah, and the other issue also, what I find is that for young people, it's kind of unnecessary. For old people, yeah, if you want to do a huge bunch of tests, it's fine. But for youngsters and all, I think that's a pretty low a probability to do a test which you expect that someone else might have a problem with. So the probability is very less. And then secondly, coming up to the insurances thing, the insurance amount, like for example, I paid up an insurance of some particular amount to my university when I came up here.
Yeah.
But honestly speaking, I never used up that amount.
Yeah, I think that's how insurance works.
Yeah, that's how insurances work.
Yeah.
So the insurance cost is also one of the thing which can be figured out here. Like I
So,
really don't think that
s-
amount of was needed. It
okay,
should have
so
been a regulated amount
okay,
or
so
something
so you want to
normal.
say unnecessary amount of
Yeah,
time taken for tests and amount and insurance amount, right?
yeah.
Right. Okay. I would again talk about unnecessary amount of time taken, right? Because it's like whenever you go to a test, that's when they say you, right, you need to come up like no food, like no breakfast, or you need or you just don't need you need to eat something like that. So a particular day is wasted, right? And also I would like to talk about uh, getting my problem solved while at home, right? So if I have a problem, I don't need to drag myself to a hospital to solve that problem, right? Because if I have a problem, that's why I'm at home, right? I don't think everyone agrees to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe telehealthcare, not like telehealthcare, but how should we frame it? I think,
Maybe like a whole infrastructure where you have an apps which kind of uses your camera and some image
yeah,
processing to come up with just use the existing sensors
I think you
and
breaking again, Shashwat.
all that.
Anyone wants to comment on how should we frame it? Miral and Priyanka?
Okay.
No, Shashwat. Miral, you want to talk about it?
I mean, I'm just thinking like how I can frame that in a problem.
Or maybe if we opt for telemarketing, I think
Telemarketing.
sorry, not sorry, telehealthcare, I think everything would be addressed to, right? If I'm not wrong.
Like I didn't understand like tele healthcare is
So
like
telehealthcare is something where just like ordering healthcare services at home, just like Amazon or
okay,
Whole Foods or something like that.
okay.
So it's like you have a problem, you consult your doctor while sitting at home, and there's a prescription that goes directly to the
Yeah, but
certif.
like that would depend from case to case depending on how serious the
Yeah,
problem
yeah,
is.
yeah. So like so the doctor also knows, right? So he actually
Yeah,
invests more
so
times into.
this can help solving the problem of appointments, and
Yeah,
like it might save the cost. Like if you go take an appointment online, that it might charge you 200, or maybe if you go there it might charge you 400. So maybe that way it can reduce some cost of the patients.
yeah. So it's just like if it's something very small and you go online and like just
Yeah,
majorly as a fee of a
yeah,
day, that would be $5 or $10. I think even the
yeah,
doctors can attend more patients in
yeah.
that. But okay, no, no. So I think the what we addressed here and what we're talking about is again a particular two different things. I think Shashwat was adding something last. Shashwat, you're audible now.
That's what. So something like that. I would say, yeah. I think you guys were right in the thinking. So making it remote through an app or some service would actually take out a lot of the other points we mentioned. Like you'd be actually spending less on accommodation, a lot less on say unnecessary tests and the time,
Yeah.
Okay.
and also one doctor can reach out to a lot of people. So
Yeah.
yeah, and this would reduce the cost too.
Yeah, but
Telehealthcare, right?
yeah, but one problem I think that is in this is like it really depends how good patient can explain the problem to the
Yeah.
doctors,
Yeah.
because you are either virtually connected via message or via phone or via video call.
Virtual. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you can't convey your message properly, or if you're hiding something,
Mm.
because in presence doctor might come up, like will understand your situation more better. So I think that's one challenge, but other than that it can reduce such significant cost.
But I think, like if we seamlessly connect all the medical services, see, let's say if I am at home, right, and if I have some problems, I had some what do you call as? Let's think of worst problems about it.
Let's say
Any
you
worst
have
problem, any worst
pneumonia,
health problems you can think of?
malaria, pneumonia.
Yeah, where you actually need to go to a doctor to get it solved.
Like a heart condition or something.
Yeah,
Like your high
but
blood pressure, low blood pressure.
no, no, like with symptoms, right? Uh, where you vomit a blood vomit.
Okay.
Okay, I think that would be the first symptom, right? So you go on to a doctor, right? And you talk about him. Like I think the first thing is you need to be very honest about with the doctors, right?
An
Yeah.
emergency situation, I can say, like emergency need.
Yeah, okay. So with that, when you connect to a doctor and you say that I had a blood vomiting in the early morning, right? So he talks about some very basic steps like what did you do? Like what exactly did you eat yesterday? How are you feeling? Are you weak? Or have you any have you any acidity or something like that? And then with that details he makes a prescription and sends to Walgreens or CVS, right, directly. Like I think to me, it doesn't matter if it comes from Walgreens or CVS, right? So it goes to one of them, and they send me a what do you call as drugs as needed, and in the meantime, the doctor also informs the one of the blood samplers that take my blood from my home, and he does exactly, and he comes to my place and takes my blood and directly gives all the reports to the doctor, and the appointment there is an appointment that is set up, and everything is seamless, right? So I just need to call my doctor and everything else is done on the very back end of it, something like that.
Okay.
So you want to add something?
Yeah. No, it's okay.
Okay, Shashwat ka? I think Shashwat is disconnected. You want to add something, Priyanka? I think it was E. Anyone you want to add something, or like we have still not narrowed down to our problems yet, guys. So let's, Miral, want to move forward with the telehealthcare?
Um,
Okay,
I
okay,
would
guys.
still go with accommodation cost and
Okay,
unnecessary amount of time.
okay, unnecessary amounts of time taken. Okay, Miral.
Yeah, I would go with unnecessary amount of time. I would go with cost of medicines and surgical.
I think everyone would pick theirs. You don't need to pick yours.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So I would go with then with unnecessary amount of time taken for test and insurance amount.
Okay, Shashwata.
Okay, Shashwat.
I do have to select someone else's.
Yeah.
I would say cost of medicine and surgical instruments.
Okay. So that is 1, 2, 1, and 0, right? I would go for unnecessary amount of time taken and insurance amount.
Even again,
Yeah, but again it's a tie. S- But
No, I don't.
huh?
Is it a tie or like unnecessary amount of time taken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you are so you want to talk about cost of medicines and surgical instruments, or you want to talk about unnecessary amount of time? Let's throw it out open. That's the two finals that we come up with, and we'll take a short break again.
Unnecessary. I would go with the third one.
Unnecessary amount of time taken.
Yeah.
Shashwata?
I would still go with cost of medicines and surgical instruments.
Okay, Priyanka.
unnecessary amount of time,
Okay, yeah,
but it was
unnecessary.
my own choice.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay, I would again go for unnecessary amount of time. So we'll talk about it.
I win.
Yeah, let's take a break for a minute. I think Shashwat is here. We're waiting for Miral. Everyone is here. Okay, so now let's do about uh, what would be our who would be our consumer exactly, and uh, so how do you want to move forward with this? Like, how do you plan to streamline it with the insurance amount? Let's talk about one thing so it's easier for us.
Okay.
Okay. s- So how do you think we can like reduce the price of unnecessary insurance amount? Also, it doesn't cover our dentals or uh, eye problems because I think that's one of the high, high price things or high
Yeah.
price surgeries, right? So how do you plan to solve that?
So, I would say a model of insurance where, like to enroll in insurance, you could be like a charge a minimum 50 or $100, but if you don't use that,
Hmm.
then you won't be charged upfront $2,000. uh, if you use it, then what you need to do is, like, even if you use it once, then they can start charging you $2,000 per year. Maybe that's whatever college do, but just take an enrollment fee of small $50 from
Okay.
students. Don't come up upfront with and ask them to give $2,000.
Enrolling fees and no upfront costs, right?
Yeah.
And what about you, Shashank? So let's time it so,
Yeah.
it doesn't get extended much.
So I would say they should give us more options to choose from that would automatically drive the other competitor to give more value out of their product.
Okay. S- Sorry. So you want like competition?
Yes, more than one option.
Uh, let's keep it at a 5 minutes count. So we talk about all the problems and how to solve it. I would uh, I would go for the enrolling phase, right? Because again, if you take a huge chunk of amount on the very first go, it's again a huge thing or huge financial crisis, right? Also because with the if you give to two or three competitions, right? Though there would be a competitive pricing for you, but in each
Yeah.
of the cases, you would not be saving significant amount as compared to the enroll fees, right? Where you have a surety that you won't be spending too much on it, and also there would be no financial burden on your budget. You get my
I would
point?
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think,
I think the one idea that I also got was like subscription model, but I like
but wouldn't that be the same one?
I can't hear you. What
Would
do you say?
wouldn't that be the same? Because if you subscribe a monthly thing, it would be similar to
The
the
total amount paid, but
yeah.
like like it reduces, like, upfront money. But okay, like that depends on like customer. So like they can provide such options. That's what I'm thinking.
But
Insurance companies.
yeah, totally. If they can provide such options, but again, if I think if you give just an enrollment fees,
Yeah,
right?
that's the best thing.
That's the
That's the
best
best.
thing. That's I like
Yeah,
really like that
yeah.
idea because you can attract a large pool of customers to you because you know that you not pay too
You don't
much.
need to pay the full money if you don't
Yeah,
use it. So
yeah,
yeah,
and also uh, it's just that at the very back of your mind, it's all you're always secured about it that if anything happens to you and then you pay the full amount of the insurance,
yeah,
then everything is covered, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
That's very important.
there's yeah, and also it's
That's
like you can have multiple insurance if you want, right? So if one insurance is
you can take off eyes and
yeah, yeah,
dental also
you
because
can
if
take insurance of eyes and dental with another company by just enrolling into it, and you can take
yeah,
the full body insurance with another company by just enrolling into it, and it
yeah,
doesn't add a financial burden to it,
yeah.
right? So, what are the advantages we're talking about?
So the advantages are just like it's more favorable, more customer centric, more favorable.
Less
It will
financial burden,
less financial burden.
more favorable options for customers.
Customers, you can say customer centric.
Yeah, but customer centric would be then again insurance policy, right? It won't be that advantage to a consumer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else, advantage you want to add, something like that? And
Increases trust
security,
on.
you are finally secured. You feel secured. I think something like that. Because why do you buy an insurance so that you feel secure that whenever there's a problem
Yeah,
with you, yeah,
you feel secure even by giving less amount.
secured, feel secured with less amount spent,
It kind of
right?
reminds me of the Reliance Geo model where
Mo-
they gave out free SIMs and a lot of benefits to just to attract a lot of customer base, and
Yeah.
then they can gradually, once they're used to that, it's like a freemium model. So you give out free trial of the whole thing for a very less price or absolutely no price.
Okay.
Once they're used to it, you can't look otherwise. That will actually work.
It's little different. I don't think it's a
I don't.
freemium
Yeah.
model.
Yeah. Because
Premium is something like you're giving it for free, and then if you
Yeah.
want to subscribe for premium service, then you're paying it.
So
This is
this is
like
yeah. So
this is
I
like very,
understand.
I don't know the name of this, like what do you say this kind of model is, but this is like just give a
Yeah.
enrollment fee, and if you use it, our
yeah,
product,
Mhm.
then
it's
you
more
pay
like
for it.
for the customers to the customers like thing, but
Yeah,
though
it's
not
like
by the customer, right?
yeah,
But uh, I think how different it is like you pay if you want that service, right?
yeah,
And the initial enrollment fees is just that that we got you covered, right? That
yeah. It increases the trusts also, and like
yeah, something like that. So we are finished on advantages. That clock has. You want to add something real quick?
I know.
No, right? Shashwata,
I think we're good.
we're good, right? So
Yeah.
you want to so let's talk about disadvantages.
This could attract a lot of bad will because
Just
for
wait.
people
Let
to
me. Okay, let me start the timer so we know we are timed
all right.
accordingly. Okay. Start.
So it would create some sort of bad will because people would, it shouldn't be like for them to get the full thing and that too at a critical moment they have to pay then in case they are not able to get arranged for that amount. If they are denied insurance or medical treatment, the whole point of even paying the initial amount is wasted. So there has to be like a safety net. uh, Maybe from the next premium cycle onwards they can pay extra, but if it's asked for immediately, it will create a lot of bad will. because people will think they're just money minded.
But I think the insurance amount would remain the same, right? So let's say like presently the college insurance like 2000, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so we pay it on every 1st of September, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of paying 2000 upfront, we would be just paying 100 or $200 on 1st of September so that we know that our insurance is on. And
Hmm.
if we have any medical problems or if we need any medical services, we can pay the 1800 amount, or maybe because we use that service we can pay like 1850 or 1900 amount, right?
Hmm.
When we, or if we are diagnosed, or if we require an actual survey, actual surgery or something like that. You get my point. There's a difference here.
I understand.
Yeah. So how,
But when that amount would be collected is my area
right
of a disadvantage.
right before
So,
the
yeah.
surgery, or how,
So
when you were admitted?
so it's very unexpected, so there are many high chances of, see, what happens is we don't mind paying an upfront fee initially because it would have been arranged for. So since it's the beginning of the semester, we would have earmarked certain amount for the fees, for the rent
Yeah.
advance and all that, so we would have that money ready and we would be expecting to pay.
Yeah.
But insurance, by the nature of it, is a very unexpected thing. So
Yeah.
it would create a sense of sort of like a fear, because in case we do not have the money, whatever, even if it's a lesser amount, 1800, at that point of time, we could be at a disadvantage.
Yeah,
So.
but like what I think is like medical itself is something which is an emergency. So
Mhm.
like yeah, like even if you are at your house, like you sometimes save money a little bit for medicine or something like that, because you don't know that what's when gonna happen. So I think like
Probably,
if
yeah.
if something like happens, like if you are met an accident and you're doing a surgery and it costs you 50,000, but if you have like enrolled in $100 and if you're giving 1800 or 1900 and it's covering that part of it, then
5000.
I
Yeah.
think you would be
Yep.
relieved a little bit,
Yeah.
because it's something that you won't be able to predict when it's gonna happen. The only smart thing you
That
can
is
do is
true.
like save a little bit every year for
Every.
medical.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
thing.
But
I think the
like,
disadvantages is for like mostly for the insurance companies rather than
Yeah,
customers.
rather like I think he pointed out a kind of good thing, Shashwata, that
Yeah,
if
it can create
what,
a
yeah,
situation
it
of
can it
ambiguity.
can create a situation for a consumer, because if you have more amount, so like now you are not financially burdened because you are saving 1800 upfront, so you would be spending more. Or maybe let's take a hypothetical situation that you would be spending more, so at a very short fall of it, you won't be having a money to pay when you need that, right?
Yeah,
So
that might
this
happen.
this would be somewhere, there would be always a fear of it, like what if something happens tomorrow and we don't have the money, right? So
Yeah,
this is again a very good disadvantage. And
yeah,
again, the disadvantage is again with the with the insurance company, right? They would be having a huge chunk about, like, huge inflow of money in the
yeah.
first month. So
Yeah, I think one disadvantage would be that also, like so we need to really take care of how the thing are proceeded. Like suppose I met with an accident and I need to be admitted immediately,
yeah.
and I have just paid for $200 upfront, so my 1800 are left. Now I'm going in a hospital and I'm using that services, so they will, like, it's an emergency situation, so they will charge me money. So now I need to like the approval of that insurance should be happening very quickly, because if that doesn't happen, then it can create a panic
Panic
situation with
situation, right?
customer, like
But
because
I think
the
it's,
hospital will charge you money.
yeah,
So
I think just to like, very sorry to cut you here, but I think it's like broadly written as T&C app, terms and conditions apply,
yeah,
right?
Yep.
Where where we need to share our details, right? Or we just need to tick on it. So if we do that, right, I think we should be covered on that, because we are enrolling to that service so that we are secured of it. So if any emergency occurs to us, we know we are all secured about it.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
it.
So so there's just have we have just two disadvantages to it. That's good, right? It's good model then. Okay. So how do you suppose to market this product, or how do you want insurance agencies to market this? Let's go with Miral this time.
Like suppose a product pitch or something like that.
Yeah. So how do you attract the customers here? Like,
Like I will say, uh, like, uh, like, what if I
wait.
come
Let me
up
let
with
me start the timer. Okay. Let's be quick enough. So
so
yeah,
if I'm going to Northeastern University, then I would say like, what if I tell you that you just need to pay $100, and if you don't use our services, you don't need to pay $1,900 extra for your insurance,
yeah.
and we are getting you covered. So that's what I would pitch them
So
to
it should be like
different people.
low upfront cost and with have maximum benefit with just
Low
enrolling
upfront
this.
cost with low upfront cost with same benefits.
Low upfront cost with same benefits. Shashwata, you want to add something?
Uh, Marketing, the best channel, as Miral said, would be through college itself because
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
is a
So like
source where.
okay. I'm just understanding like how would you market, right? I'm not understanding the channel or what, but like how would you
Mhm.
market your product, like this product, being an insurance agency?
uh, I would somehow link it to something cool
Yeah, like.
and cost effective. So
Mm,
something on the sorts of a subscription model. Just give it. You don't have to pay the whole cost or like something. So it attracts people in a term which, what do you say? It's like car lease. You get the car, but you don't have to pay the whole amount upfront.
yeah,
Some I would
something like
liken it
that.
to that.
Yeah. So like how do you put into words that easily catchy enough for customers to buy that? You get that?
Uh,
It sells like this.
yeah,
Just like McDonald's, it says five for two.
yeah,
Two max for five, right?
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. My bad.
So
So
We
low
can
upfront
say
yeah.
too less for too much. We can say like
or
that.
or maybe uh buy full insurance with,
marginal cost.
yeah, with just enrollment, with
Why
something like
why
that.
buy full why buy
Why
full
buy full
insurance?
when you can just
Why
subscribe?
buy full? Yeah, then you can just enroll and get all the benefits.
No, that would be
If
kind of
it,
long.
if,
Yeah, why buy full when you can just subscribe or
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe enroll?
why buy
Yeah.
full when you can?
Why buy
Or
full?
if we had like a pun intended thing, we could say
Yeah,
if you have commitment issues, just like just try us out or something like that.
but
Partially.
how would they try it out?
Yeah, they won't.
Yeah,
Also, we could say like
let's.
benefits abhi paise tabhi.
What?
Like it's a Hindi thing, right? So
Yeah,
benefits abhi and paise
later.
tabhi
Yeah, but let's put it
later.
English so that everyone can also consume it. But like let's put student
Yeah.
into picture, or maybe let's put someone into 30s who recently got a job or maybe bought a house or bought a car, and then he's already going to a financial burden, and let's attract him. Come on guys, it's 2 minutes.
We got you covered.
How?
Uh, I mean, I'm thinking of that 30s. Like if person is in 30s, like spend more on vacations because we got you covered in less amount.
But how do you signify that into insurance? Like how
I
do
mean,
you relate it spend more on vacations to your insurance?
we need an image for that. Like I mean,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
convey it.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
make it catchy. One of the very good thing I read about of clothing brand, right? It was a company name, ABC, and there was a tagline that because you can't wear your Bentley everywhere. Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, Bentley is one of the most luxurious brand, right?
Yep.
And it
Mm-hmm.
directly, sets the link that it is luxurious, and
Mm-hmm.
it is one of the like aspiring thing, and
That is true.
cause you can't wear your car everywhere, so you wear this company's clothes, right? Something like that, that it easily, relatable, and
I would say this. I think this tagline is already used by someone else, but then it
yeah, yeah,
says
yeah.
"peace of mind guaranteed."
Okay, that's it.
Yep.
But how how do we signify it like it's an insurance company, or you know like I know this is that's why you use that, like I didn't use the company's name, right? It shows that it's a clothing brand, because like it says,
Mm-hmm.
cause you can't wear
Over it.
your Bentley
Mm-hmm.
everywhere, right? So it connects, or it gives you that whole sphere about what they are talking about, how do they see themselves into the market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're running out of time. Let's add like a minute more so we know.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, guys. uh like we can't figure out one marketing tagline.
Cheap insurance for students. Enroll here.
A lot of companies in the US they take a direct dig at the competitor, so it's
Yeah,
say better than XYZ.
yeah. But how do you like
Why pay 2000 for insurance when we are covered in 100?
dude? I don't think that would work because you're giving out too much information, right?
Yeah,
So no one would be
like
coming just to check you, if you understand. You giving out your 2000 plan, you giving out your 100 plan,
yeah,
right?
I like I'm just thinking.
Come on, guys. Like, I can't figure it out.
We literally got you covered.
Insure yourself with $100 insurance.
Yeah. Or maybe just insure yourself with just 100. A
Yeah,
100 can insure you, or something like that.
yeah.
Everyone.
Yep.
Do you know any other term or any other slang we use for $100 bill?
Mm.
So maybe we
Like
Mm,
can put that into
insure yourself with 10
yeah.
subway.
tens of
10 subs. 10 subway.
tens of ways.
Or so
Yeah,
beer or something.
something like that.
10 Popeyes, maybe 10 anything. Which is,
Popeye is $10.
yeah, I mean, I like $8,
The
$9
the
with
the
excess.
Okay.
expensive ones.
So, uh, $100
Uh,
can insure you. Maybe let's think about it. Let's keep this, and if we can figure it out, we can talk about it. Or what were you saying, Shashwat? Shashwata, sorry.
yeah, no, I was just adding on to that, so yeah, I'm good.
You don't want to add something?
So this is like we can't call $100 a spare change, but then it is still a significant amount. But then
Yeah.
Maybe
yeah,
10 salads can insure you, or 10 Taco Bell salads can insure you. Healthy and insurance.
Uh, yeah. Some Taco Bell is kind of relatable, right?
Yeah, Taco Bell. Yeah, I mean, any company which is good in salads, like
Yeah.
because it's health and insurance. So both giving message that eat healthy food and get
Yeah.
insured.
Get insured.
Mhm.
You like the food
I
is a
actually
good
like
angle.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, I also like
yeah.
that. They like have 10 chalupas for
Chalupa.
insurance. Have like what is the $10 thing in Taco Bell?
I mean, they are giving salads for 10. I don't know.
Okay, like let's just say have tacos for 10 or uh 10 tacos can insure you is something not that catchy, right? We need to
Yeah,
make it
Yeah.
better.
yeah.
Uh, how do you say it?
You could say buy insurance from the spare change from your beer run or something like
The
beer buying
beer
spree.
and
You can't
insurance.
buy like $100 worth of spare change.
I didn't get the last part. Buy beer, buy insurance, buy
So by we insure you, we cover you with the spare change from your
beer bills.
like a house party or some beer change or something.
Interesting angle. I think we cover we cover you with
With the spare change from the some spring breaks house something like beer or something. So for you to have like a spare change of $100, you would have to drink a significant amount, and that would happen during things like spring break or whatever break. So, and I would say beer, uh, spring break are very American college terms, so
yeah,
even
yeah,
they can relate to it
yeah.
better.
Or maybe can we just say that buy insurance with a year around beer tips or tips on beer?
Yeah, but that could also do.
Yeah,
But
because
then
like
I'll tell you this. What happens is if we associate with certain alcoholic beverage or something, we would kind of what do you say exclude a certain people who would not want to associate with alcohol. So they would
Yeah.
religiously or personally,
okay,
that's always that risk.
yeah. So how do we play it safe then? I think every guy into 30s is either consuming alcohol,
Not
right?
necessarily,
Yeah.
no. Not necessarily.
Okay, so like again, but though we are playing it safe, how do you?
Like, I mean,
Or maybe can we just say buy a full year's insurance with just a month of trans commute bill, commute or transport, or
yeah,
your bus pass
yeah,
with months
train.
months
Yeah, train
bus
pass,
commute
bus
pass or
pass.
something like that.
Yeah,
But can we shorten it?
your commute pass can insure.
Yeah, a month's commute can insure you for an year.
Yeah,
Something like that, right? It's a good one.
yeah.
A month's commute pass for a year. Let's have last one so we can end this and wrap it up. Come on, Shashwata, you can do this. Again, I think every like we majorly have from Miral only. He's
Yeah.
kind of
So
gone
I
into
was just
very
checking
much
this up.
into product marketing. Okay.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I was looking this up on the internet. So $100 bill is called a C note.
C note,
Oh,
right?
So yeah.
So
So
yeah,
C note.
a C note,
So
like how do
to
you
cover
exact
you or something like
like
C
it's
note can save your life.
yeah, a C note for an year. A C note can insure you for a year.
C note
Like
equals cover or something like that.
a C or is just like a C. Like
C
we just
the
have 10 more minutes, guys.
yeah, it's C for the letter C
Okay, C.
because C in
Yeah.
Roman is 100
Oh,
apparently.
Oh,
so like that's C.
Yeah.
C note like
So,
that
yeah,
C note.
can insure you for a year.
or we can say C note equals
Life
cover,
insurance. But what cover? Let's
like
time this,
insurance
guys.
cover. I think.
A C note can insure you for a year. I think it's explanatory, right?
Yep.
Last one more, and we can wrap this up. Come on,
Hmm.
one from Shashwat. Sorry, Sushant Singh is
Okay.
too much on my head.
Yeah.
Come on, Shashwata. How do you catch an attention of mothers, right? Like if you catch an attention of mother, then the student or that child has to write, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you catch her attention? Get insured with week's grocery bill.
Yeah.
Say.
Like something like spend more on grocery because you're
We
saving it
got you
here, man.
covered. Yeah.
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 So mother also feels like my son is eating good food.
Well, let's Shashwata frame this.
Yep. Oh, I would say something. I'm just getting this random thought. So we
Okay.
could say like 100 is the benchmark for good marks, and we could insure like kind of related to like $100 of insurance or something like that. Like say your mom, you know,
Get insured with A grade, something like that. That's too cheesy.
yeah, A,
Correct.
A grade doesn't only get you like something. 100 doesn't
Very.
only get you A grade. It also gets you an insurance.
Yeah. So how do you like exactly frame it? 100 doesn't get you A. It also gets an
It
insurance or
100 gets you more than just a
A
A grade. Yeah.
more than A.
Yeah,
It
just an A grade.
gets you
Yeah,
insured, right? For a year.
yeah,
Oh, this is good. Everyone likes all six options.
Yeah.
yep.
Cool. Uh, it was nice having you all, guys.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of very fruitful session, right?
Yes.
In the later
Yeah,
of it, rather than we moved too much to and fro about the healthcare industry,
yeah. I
and none
think
of
yeah, the time session actually worked well because you're kind of compelled to
yeah. I think
deliver within that.
the other one where we didn't time it, it was because like we wanted everyone to flow their thoughts, right?
Definitely, yeah,
Yeah, but again, this is way much more productive when you time it and like advantage, disadvantages, and marketing campaign, right? But it was good session, right? Everyone learned a lot. I think
Yeah.
Shashwata, though you were
yep.
unprepared and you were like kind of little nitty gritty
Yeah,
about it, you enjoyed this, right?
definitely,
Uh,
definitely. And
huge,
it's a good way to spend a Saturday afternoon.
yeah.
I made some new friends and
Uh,
kind of got over the inhibition of doing a face YouTube live. This is my first time too. So
oh,
yeah.
bro, don't worry. We just like two
I six
live
people
sessions
say.
ahead with you, yeah. And Miral is just one live session senior of you, so it's
Yeah,
all fine, bro. But
yeah.
it was good, right? A kind of productive weekend
Yeah.
afternoon,
Yep, I would
right?
say that.
Yeah, it was good one. And
Yeah.
we're thinking of moving this into weekdays at night so that we can cover more
Mm-hmm.
people because on weekends everyone is on the run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either doing their errands or not. So else, but we will definitely, I will definitely update you about it, right? If you're interested on getting on with the second session, we'll have. Are you guys interested for second session next weekend or?
We can consider that. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We'll have more people so that we can also talk it about it. Cool.
Yeah.
I think Rohit might have enjoyed us, right? He might uh, get bored in the starting because of the to and fro thing, but he would have loved to see this. Okay.
Yeah.
Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Subscribe
Yeah.
and press
Definitely.
the
We
bell
don't have the
icon.
bell icon yet problem yet. Yeah. But it was nice having you
Awesome.
guys, man.
Yeah.
Enjoy the weekend.
Definitely,
Have a
definitely.
blast. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Happy
Bye.
weekend, guys. Take
Happy
care.
weekend.